Hello, and welcome to Old Time Knits. This is episode 37. Today is Monday, September 9th, 2024. And this is my YouTube channel where I talk about all of my love for everything fiber. Sometimes knitting, sometimes crocheting, sometimes spinning, but really mostly knitting, and any acquisitions that I may have come across. So if this sounds like something you would enjoy, then come on in and let's get started. All right, lots to talk about today. I haven't been here for quite a while. I did do a summer vlog a little while back, and that was super fun. I really enjoy doing those. There was no talking in that one. I hope you enjoyed that if you got to see it. And also, today is the second year anniversary of my podcast. So of course we're going to have a celebration, and I will get to more of that at the end or later on in the podcast. I have six finished objects. I really didn't think that I had knit all that much, but it's been a while, so I guess it adds up when you're not here on a more regular basis. I have some sample knitting that I did for my local yarn store. I have some test knitting that I did and continue to do. And then I just have some gift knitting that I am still banging out here. I'm getting close to having most of the socks that I had on my Christmas list done. So that's a very cool thing. We've also been doing some, I say we, like I have an army of people or something. I've been doing some refreshing in my home, and I will talk more about that at the end of the video in case you're not interested. So let's get into the knitting. And the first finished object I have is a sample knit. This is the Issy shawl. It's by Amy Christoffers designed for Barocco. Sorry. Yeah, so my local yarn store provided the yarn, and I did the knit, and here it is. It's so fun because it has all this fringe along the edges of it, and the colors just did that on its own. So it's, just an eyelet shawl with all the fringy bits on it. This is actually the first time I've done fringe, and I was surprised at how time consuming it was, but it was fun. And yeah, so just a basic shawl. Like I said, eyelets, very not hard to do. Of course it it does not go with my stripy sweater at all. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, so this is so lightweight, and I will talk about the yarn here in a minute. But yeah, really cute, really easy, pretty mindless. I did this while I was camping, and what a great accent piece this will be. So easy to wear, easy to knit. It would be a lovely gift knit. And I'm going to talk about the yarn. So the yarn that was chosen was Noro. And this is the Natsumeki base. And it is a whole combination of things. It's 60% cotton, 25% silk, and 15% polyamide. So yeah, Natsuki, and the color is number 8. I hate when they do that. This is a lightweight, considered a sport weight, and this is all I had left. These are very large size balls. It was 150 grams, 480 meters. So this is what I had left. And yeah, what a nice What a nice knit. So it could be done in anything. I thought maybe my hand spun it would be nice in this. So I was super happy with that. And now that I've podcasted, I will be able to get that to my yarn store. I've been holding on to it so that I could show you guys. All right, that was finished object number 1. And in case I didn't say so before, I will have links to all of my project pages down below, and all of the details of the yarn and the needles. That was done on a US 7 4.5 millimeter needle. And so it was nice because it wasn't a real small needle too. So, and then I have one more sample knit that I did. Same, my local yarn store, by the way, is the Elegant U in Concord, New Hampshire. In case I forgot to say, I live in New Hampshire. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Old Time Knits. I forgot all the details. It's been a while. Anyway, my next finished object is also a sample knit. It's a pair of baby booties. So funny. I have them stuffed with tissue to help keep them shaped. These were so cute to knit. It was a little tricky to get them the exact same size. I almost feel like one might be a smidgy smaller than the other, but it's a sample. It really, it's all good. So yeah, that is so fun. Look at the bottoms, little soles. Super easy. But you know, I had to pay attention to the first one. So these are called Boots Milo. And I think this is a Pascali pattern because that is the yarn that I used. This is Pascali cashmere. First time I've ever worked with cashmere. 100% cashmere wool organic. This was a 25 gram ball, 122 yards. This is the back of it. And that's the color. Taubenblau. I'm not sure how you say that, but, and this is what I had left. Very soft, very nice, obviously cashmere. So, yeah. Yeah. Aren't they sweet? This is the first time I've ever done baby booties. I have done baby socks in the past, but I love that they're stuffed because then they'll just sit upright like that. So yeah, so both of those are the same, going to the same yarn store, and she will be so happy to have her samples. They didn't take me long, but it seemed like I didn't get as much knitting in as I normally do, so it seemed to me like they took longer. All right, I'm going to do some socks now. My next finished object was I think that these were a work in progress in my other video. This is part of my goal to knit through all of my self-striping DK socks skeins that I have left. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but it was a goal anyway. This is a pair of socks for Annabelle. These are DK. They're done on a US 3.25 millimeter needle. I did 15 rounds for the cuff, 15 for the leg, heel flap and gusset, and then I don't know how many rounds on the foot. 40, I think, maybe not quite that many, 38 or 40 rounds on the foot. Annabelle is 10 years old. She's my granddaughter. I love this. So the yarn that I used is Polka Dot Creek, which is I'm a big fan of. And this is a DK self-striping sock yarn in her gingerbread house. I think that this might have been no, I guess not. Yeah, this might have been a sock set and I stole the mini skein out of it. But I found I found this in my stash and I used it for the heel. I thought it looked like maybe peppermint to go with our gingerbread house. So yeah, just a simple pair of DK socks, and that is pair number 1 out of my whole, I think I have 12 skeins, and I'm hoping to knit them all by the end of the year. Who am I? That's a laugh. Hey, it doesn't hurt to set goals. If you don't achieve them, it's no skin off of anybody's back. All right, and then next I have another pair of socks. These were a work in progress also on my last episode. Sorry. Here they are. I'm going to put one down. Here we go. These are so pretty. These are for a gift. I think this is one of my last gift knits for the holidays for this year. One of my last socks gift knits. I think I have about 9 or 10 people on my list now. People love my socks, and as long as they take care of them, I'm good. And then wear them, I mean, you know. I don't want to be making things. Anyway, look at the speckles on this. Unbelievable. So this yarn is Holly Press Fibers, and it is in her Lambkins DK base, which is a 75/25. This yarn, I don't even know. I don't know how she speckles like this. This is a Beatrix Potter inspired set. It's called The Seeds We Have Sown. This is what I have left over. But yeah, the speckles, it's crazy. And just too contrasting. So I was able to use one color on the heel and one color for cuffs and toes. Really beautiful. So DK weight US 3.25 millimeter, and 48 stitch cast on. I think there's 12 for the ribbing, and then usually I do around 35 for the leg, heel flap and gusset, and then on to the length I need for this particular recipient. So yes, love it. This I have quite a bit left on this one too, which is great. So pretty. I was in love with these speckles, so I might have just ordered some more yarn from Holly Press Fibers. Oops. I am surrounded by a mess. You guys can't even see what's surrounding me here, but anyway. All right. The next finished object I have is my Vodka Lemonade cardigan. Yay, it's done. I will insert some video here of it on me. It is lovely. This is done on a US 7. What is that? 4.5 millimeter needle. It has some awesome yarn overs for the raglan increases, and it has, let's see if I can get this to show you. It has a seed stitch and rib button band all the way down. So this is exactly knit to pattern, with the exception of I did not, the pattern has lace, let's see if I can show you that, along the back of it and along the lower fronts, and I opted not to do the lace on it. I just wanted a simple cardigan. My problem is that the neckline, and you'll see it in the video, the neckline is too wide, and so I've come to the conclusion that I just have shoulders that are not really wide, and things tend to fall off of them. I had trouble with my Trillion Lake t-shirt, which was a few episodes back. I talked about that. I have trouble with my pajama cardigan, and now I have trouble with this. So I will have to go back along the neck edge here and pick up a few more stitches, or I could potentially put a button at the top to help keep it closed. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I will fix it up because I am in love with it. It is adorable. It has a little bit of waist shaping on it. It's 3/4 sleeves. Also has the seed stitch along the, what do you call those? Cuffs. And along the bottom, which was really, I don't have anything that doesn't have ribbing on it like that along the bottom and stuff. So the button band was done as you go, which was nice because you didn't have to mess with it. And it's designed to be an open front with no buttons on it. So it's an easy throw on. That yarn is so lightweight and beautiful. And this is Elspeth Lavold Silky Wool, which is 45% wool, 35% silk, and 20% nylon. And this is color number 08 in the moss colorway, which I think might be a discontinued color. It took 5 skeins for me to knit that. I think no, I didn't knit it. I might have added an inch or so in the length, but I didn't make it super long because I wanted it to be a shorty cardigan. So even though I have to go back and pick up stitches along the neck, overall, I'm really, really happy with it. And I think I will wear it a lot. It's a great transition piece and it's very lightweight. So, and it's quite an engaging knit. You have just enough interest so it's not boring. But it's not hard by any means. So, yes, I was so happy to have that off the needles. I had that on the needles for a long time too. I worked on that a lot this summer while we were camping as well, just trying to get it done. But so I think I talked about that before. The silky wool is classified as a DK, but it really does knit up more like a sport weight. A sport weight yarn. It doesn't actually, let's see, what did they say? Yeah, they recommend you use a US 6 on it. I cannot remember, I'm sorry, what I used for a needle, but it is in my on my project page. I can't remember if I used the recommended needles or not, but anyway, it's on my project page on my Ravelry, so, and that will be linked below. So I am so happy to have that one off the needles because that was on my needles for a long, long time, and it was starting to stress me out. It just was a lingering thing, and I don't really know why. So okay, next finished object. I know there's a lot of them, right? Is a test knit for Nancy at Knit Sip Happy. I think that this is scheduled to be released very soon. But anyway, I have them finished. They are. Yay. I put one down so I can talk about it. All right, this is the Missing Mojo Socks, Nancy Wheeler, and this was a test knit for her. This is beautiful. So these are a cuff down. You work the repeats, you flap and gusset, and then she does a little bit of interest on either side of the foot and along the top. I'm going to take one off so I can show you this a little bit better. Yeah, well, here's the texture, and then it just carries that right down the front of the sock and along the side edges as well. I'm not doing a very good job here. And the texture's on the back, but the foot is just done in stockinette. It's such a pretty texture, very, very engaging. It was a great pattern, and these repeats at the top. I love it when you have repeats like that because it makes it go so fast. You know you have 4 of them to do, so you're like, okay, I'll just get to the next section. Makes it go quite a bit quicker. These were a pleasure to knit. And this is fingering weight, in case I didn't say that. Most of you know I'm not much for fingering weight, but I'm trying to be a good girl and use some stuff out of my stash. And I don't mind the fingering weight. I don't want to do them all. I guess I don't want to do them for gift knits because just so much takes so much more time, and I don't know. I have a big foot, so it takes me a long time to get a pair of socks done, but I'm always happy to test knit for Nancy. She's a pleasure to work with, and she's got a great group of testers. So, all right, the yarn that I'm using is On the Round, and she is based out of Maine, Rockland, Maine. Here's her information. I will link it down below. And this is her Nimble sock, which was 85% merino wool and 15% nylon. It's 394 yards on 100 grams. That was the main color. Lovely speckles. There you go. This is what I had left, which is quite a bit. So pretty. And then my contrast color was, you guys, I'm always doing the same thing over and over. Polka Dot Creek. And I've had this for a couple of years, I think. It was her Spruce colorway, which I think that this might have been part of an advent at some point. It's this deep, beautiful teal color. It didn't take much because there's just a little bit on the top of the sock. She does a little pop of color here, and then I did my heel flap, and then there's a little bit there too at the bottom. So yes, so her next pattern coming out, you can look for it, and I will be sure to post it on my Instagram when it releases. So I was a little concerned because I really felt like my yarn choice didn't allow for this pattern to shine as much as it could have. I mean, it's pretty and it does show up somewhat, but I think a less speckly might have shown up a little bit better. But anyway, this is what I had, and Nancy was pleased with those when I showed her, so how can you hate that? So the missing Mojo socks, I'm going to show you Nancy's picture. Go. See how much more it pops in a more solid as opposed to being so speckly. So yes, soon to be released, very soon. I don't have an exact date, but when I know, I will post it on my Instagram page. All right, I'm going to move on to whips now. Also, before I forget to say anything, it's fall. I am so happy to have cooler temperatures and am enjoying the cooler weather to just put around my house and get some things done that I've been putting off. I'm in a little bit different arrangement today because I'm currently reworking this room and it's in a state of upheaval at the moment. We are going to get a couple new pieces of furniture, and we bought our house during the pandemic, so you know, it was in all of that chaos of supplies were low and prices were high and you couldn't get anything, and so we decided to just wait and you know, down the road get a few things and, you know, get our house ship shape, and here we are 3 years later and we're finally getting around to it. But anyway, I'm sitting near our fireplace here because we want to have a grouping around it, and we hope to you know, have a sitting area around it so we can really appreciate it. I use my fireplace a lot during the winter, a lot. And, you know, before we had all of our furniture against the outside walls, and that didn't allow us to enjoy the fireplace as much. So anyway, rambling, sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but that'll be for another day. All right, what am I doing? Whips. Okay, my first whip was a super random cast on. I have, as you know, I've talked a lot about it. I have been analyzing my stash, and I really have been doing some serious contemplating about what I have and what I can use. And I came across some mohair. I had lots of mohair, and I had a lot of doubles on skeins. So I decided to go on Ravelry and search up and see what I could find so that I can use some of this mohair up. And I came up with a cardigan. So this is the, let me get it. I'm trying not to tangle it. I don't have too much on, but how am I going to show this to you? This is going to be the Elements cardigan by Mini Knit Design. Excuse me, Mini-Me. I will put it on the screen so you can see it. So this is a cardigan which holds, sorry, I have the paper in front of me here. It holds 4 strands of mohair together, and look at the yum squishy fuzz that this is. So I will show you what I am using, but 4 strands on 6mm needles. Look at how fun this is going to be. So fluffy, right? Okay, so this is what I'm using. I had 2 of each of these colors, and I didn't know how I was ever going to use all of these up. So, and I'm normally not much of a mohair. I mean, I have a few sweaters. I just don't want all my sweaters with mohair. So these have been in my stash, I don't know how long, a good couple years. You know, you buy them, and then you think, oh, I'll make something with them, and you don't. So here's the other ones I wanted to be able to show you. Here they are. So I'm going to go over them here. This is mohair from a place called Bert and Ernie, and this is naturally dyed with Cosmos, I think is what it is. Yep. I got this at, it's 459 yards to 50 grams. I got this at the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival 3 years ago. Isn't that crazy? So I had 2 of those. This is Sonder yarn, which in their halo base. And this is the Leafy colorway. Again, just silk mohair. This is so pretty. Pinkyish. And then this is Sweet Tea Yarns, which is Molly Klein Designs. And it's her Marshmallow Mohair in worn denim. Yeah, I had 2 skeins of all of these. And I didn't buy them all at once, but you know how that is. And then this one is Emma's Yarn. Emma's Yarn. And it's Wish You Were Beer is the color. Pretty autumny color. So because I had 2 skeins of each of them, it allowed me to, you know, be able to make something pretty good with them. So I just wound them up and I put them in this basket, and they stay real tight in here, so it worked out really well because I didn't want them flopping around in a project bag. So I can just pull and it stays pretty tight. So that is what I am doing. Now this cardigan has garter ridge or pearl rows across it, and I opted not to do that. I'm just making a very simple, mindless little cardigan. It's very easy. There's nothing fancy about it, you know. Look, it even looks cool on the inside. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know, I should have enough to do it, but I will decide whether I want to, you know, how long it will be. I'll once I get to the split for the sleeves, I will go on to the sleeves and do those, and then go back and just knit and use up the rest. So yeah, that is my first whip, and there's no deadline on this for me. It's just one of those things that I can pick up anytime I feel like it. I'm not on a mission to get it done in any super fast fashion. If it happens, great, and if it doesn't, but and that's fine too. But I am so happy to be using up this mohair. I didn't know that I would find something that used it, so that's a huge amount of things getting out of the stash, and it feels good to be using these things because, you know, it's just sitting there. It's ridiculous that it's just sitting there. We're all trying to be a little more mindful, I think. All right, my next project is in my little project bag from Stitchy Girl Studio. We don't know if she's making bags anymore or not. Okay, and I showed this one in my vlog. This is my second choice on my Knit the 12 Skeins self-striping. Here it is. This is for my grandson Blake. They like shorty socks, so I always make them shorty socks. I think I did, I think I might have done like 42 instead of 40 for his. Maybe I did 44. I can't quite remember, to tell you the truth. Yeah, and just a basic shorty. These are DK. And I am partway through the second one, working on the heel here. I haven't picked these up for a little bit. Everything's falling apart here. Yeah, working my way through. It won't take me long once I turn the heel. It's just mindless knitting. This is the yarn. And this is Woolens and Nosh. And it's her 100% superwash merino in the percolated colorway. And I know it's 100% superwash merino, and everybody is always like, oh, you have to have nylon. And I agree, you do need to have nylon in your socks. Except that these guys are going to outgrow these so quickly that I'm not really concerned about it. So, oh, look who joined us. Hi. Molly has joined us. She likes to be part of the podcast. She doesn't know why I'm talking, who I'm talking to. She thinks it's her. All right, so anyway, that is the second out of my 12 skeins. I better get on that. I set that goal, I think it was the beginning of July, and I didn't get as much knitting as I had hoped I would. I don't know. I went through a little bit of turbulence there. I mean, when you see all that's knit and all I've shown for finished objects, then, you know, it seems like all I did was knit, but in reality, that's over a long span of time. And I did have some turbulence. I was feeling overwhelmed, and, you know, my no time to knit. I was working a lot, and, you know, I really wanted to get some things done around the house, so that cut into knitting time, and that's okay. We all can't be spot on all the time, and, you know, you make the best of a situation, but I'm a little frustrated because I haven't had much time to spin, and I like to have that integrated into my weekly making, you know, even if it's only once a week, and I really haven't had a chance to sit at the wheel. It's just lots of demands. So I look forward to getting back into that, and hopefully my schedule will slow down a little bit and I can catch my breath, if you will. So anyway, gosh, I'm sorry I'm so rambly today. My next work in progress is a current test knit for my friend Judy of the Autumn Acorn. She has a new design. She showed it on her podcast, so now it's in testing, and it is called the Apple Orchard. Sorry, I just dropped everything. Ooh, sorry. Yeah, the Apple Orchard socks. And here is mine. Sorry for all the ends and nonsense here. So it is a little shorty sock with this sweet ruffle cuff and some awesome texture. And I just turned the heel and I'm onto the foot. I am in love with this pattern. It is so engaging and so fun to do. It's a 4-row repeat, and I like with Nancy's pattern, when you have a repeat, it just seems to make it go faster. So when it's a 4-row repeat, you're like, okay, one more segment, and it really is, it's going way faster than I anticipated it was going to. And no pressure from Judy either. So I am using 2 yarns. One I have a tag for and one I do not. And the first one I'm using is, unfortunately, this guy no longer dyes, which is so sad, but I purchased this quite a while ago, and it's from Knittin' Bro, and it's in his sock base in the red velvet colorway. It is 75/25, 463 yards. Red. Come on, camera. Red velvet. Very nice yarn. Very easy, not splitty. This actually shows a little bit brighter than it is on. Than it actually is. It's more of a burgundy color. And I couldn't help it because it was the Apple Orchard socks, so I needed to have something red. And my contrasting color, I do not have the band. This is from Tippy Tree Yarn, and I don't know if you can see, but this is a sparkle base, which is so sweet. And this is actually one of the yarns that Judy used in her initial sock she knit, and I think it's called Apple Cider. And this is lovely yarn. So like I said, you can't really see the sparkle, but it's got sparkle in the, maybe just a little bit in the cuff to add with the ruffle. Love the ruffle. Not hard to do either. So yeah, I'm just working my way down the foot now, and the little heel, it's all sparkly, but you can't really see it. So I think that she anticipates a date somewhere towards the end of September for these to be released, and I can't wait to do another pair, seriously. Again, this is fingering weight. Look at me. 2 fingering weight socks in a row. Woo! That's a lot for me. And that is all that I have currently on the needles. Okay, so my friend Judy and I are attending a retreat in Maine with a whole bunch of our knitting buddies in a couple of weeks, which I cannot wait. So I thought to put a sweater on the needles. And I have yarn for it. I'm pretty sure that I'm either going to do the Felix cardigan or the Felix pullover. I have a Felix cardigan. I did it in an inexpensive acrylic yarn, and I absolutely have worn the pieces out of this thing, but it has not held up well. It's very worn looking, if you will, and so I thought I should maybe try to do another one because I love the fit of it. It stays on my shoulders so good, and I actually wear it buttoned, so that probably helps, but it has a really nice collar on it, just everything about it. And yeah, so that is, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a cardigan, but I'm itching to do not a cardigan because I've done a lot of them recently, and I'm itching to do something in the round and just go, 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 go. So we'll see. Either one would work for me. And anyway, oh gosh. So I purchased some yarn specifically for it, and this is what I purchased. It's Knitting for Olive, and this is the heavy merino. So this is I think it's a worsted weight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It is 100% merino, and this is in the Bordeaux colorway, which is, like I'm told, the color of the season. Beautiful deep burgundy color. Love this color. So I am really excited about that. This is nice yarn. I have tried their what's the word? Not heavy, why can't I think of the word? Their fingering weight and mohair combination. I did my a beautiful navy love note in it, and it's fantastic yarn. So I'm hopeful for this. This is a little bit of crinkling, but I wanted to show you. This is where I purchased it, La Mercerie. And so I have enough to do either of those. So we'll see which one I choose to throw on the needles. And then the other thing I want to cast on is the Songbird mittens. Pop in a picture. These are so beautiful. They are by Erica Huser Designs, and I actually saw these on an episode of Fleece and Harmony podcast, and they actually have kits for them. They have a yarn store on Prince Edward Island, Canada. And so I, again, went stash diving, and I had a couple of things that these have been scanned up for a while. So this is what I'm going to do them in, I think. This is a 75-25. I don't have a ball band because this is just some Knit Picks fingering weight that I dyed quite a few years ago. So it's just a tonal variegated blue color. And then my other one is, I am not sponsored, but I love them. It is Polka Dot Creek, and this is their classic sock base. And I've had this in my stash so long that the colorway name is gone. It's just a basic neutral color. Really nice. So I thought that those two would work well for this pattern. And I've not done a huge amount of color work. The reason that I really like this pattern is that she does it on magic loop, which is my preferred method because I know I've talked about it a million times that I'm no good with the little circulars. This is done on a US 2, so chances are I will probably bump up to a US 3 because I don't want them to be too tight, and my color work tends to tighten up a lot. So we shall see how I make out with that. All right, and I think that was it for dream knitting. Yeah, that is pretty much it. So now we get to move on to acquisitions. I do have just a couple of acquisitions, and sometimes I buy things because I think that they're so interesting. Somebody was talking about this on Instagram, I think. Pretty sure. Okay, so I got a book. It's called The Embroidered Closet, and it's by this person, which I don't think I can pronounce her name, but it's about all about knitting and knitting on your embroidering on your clothing, and it talks all about different fabrics. It talks about, you know, doing some on the collars, you know, just in general doing some. The book is really very pretty. I like pretty books, and I may never do it, but I just enjoy so much. There's a little market bag. I just enjoy so much sitting with a book and you know, paging through it. So, this is the Scary Apothecary Halloween Speckled Mini Advent Skeins. Here they are. I'm not going to spoil anything, I don't think. They're all wrapped up together. Come with a little pin and a little sticker. And I do not really remember when I ordered this. I don't really remember how it all works. Do I start opening them October 1st? I'll have to go investigate, but I love their yarns so much. And I opted for the speckled ones. And I just loved their packaging that they sent it in. It was so cute. So that was kind of a fun surprise. Look at all somebody took the time to wrap all of these in all these different Halloween colors. So fun. So I think that I start on October 1st. It'll be fun. I will go investigate. If you know, let me know. Okay, and then the last yarny bit that I want to talk about is I said that today is my second Podiversary, and like everybody else, you know, time flies and you just can't believe it goes that quickly. It's been so much fun, and it brings me such joy to have met so many people and to get to read all of the comments. The comments are probably the best part of this process for me, and the friends that I have made and the connections and all of that. I just love it so much. So I'm going to have two separate little items to give away, and here they are. So this is the first one. It's a Party of 5 mini set. And this is Sweet Georgia in their Tough Love sock. It's 105 yards per 28 gram skein, 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. And the colorway is called White Mountains, which is a New Hampshire thing. Sorry, I can't quite get it to show, but those are the colors. So it is a set of 5. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've got glare galore here, but you get the idea. Here we go. So there's that one. And then the second one is a set of mini skeins. These are Stroll Tweed from Knit Picks, fingering weight, and it's the Afternoon Tea colorway set, and the tweed. So pretty, right? Yeah, so we'll have two separate giveaways, and if you would like the Sweet Georgia pack. If you could leave a comment below, and you could put the word party, P-A-R-T-Y, in the comments. Or if you'd like the knit picks, you could put Stroll, S-T-R-O-L-L, in the comments. And you will be entered to win. So I will draw, we'll do a random draw for the next episode, which I hope isn't too far away, for the winner. And thank you all so much for constantly supporting me and sharing your life with me, and just sharing my life. I really love doing this, and I really love all that it has brought me and brought into my life. So, all right, that will pretty much wrap up the knitting content. So if you were here for that, thank you so much for joining me. And if you'd like to stick around, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've been up to. First of all, I mentioned before that yay for fall. When the temperatures cool off, it just invigorates me. It makes me want to do all the things. One of my favorite things to do is to get some apples and make homemade applesauce. And I don't know if anybody else likes to do that, but my husband absolutely loves applesauce, so we make it a lot. And we've missed it because the apples just have not been here until now. It's finally apple season again. So I have been making some applesauce, and I have a little bit of video footage because I use a food mill, and I don't know if anybody else uses this. I'm sure somebody does, but it's a real easy process because you don't have to peel your apples. I take the core out of my apples. I cut around it. You don't even have to do that. You could quarter them and not remove stems or seeds or anything. But my particular food mill has a larger size sieve on it. So it allows some of the smaller seeds to go through. I think it probably has an option for a smaller one, but we like a little bit lumpier texture, not chunky, but just a little bit of texture to the applesauce too. So that is why I cut mine the way I do. But it basically, you put them in this food mill, and when you crank it, it keeps the skins and the parts of any parts of the apple you would discard in the upper chamber, and just pushes the applesauce down through. It's the best darn thing. My mama had one when we were kids, and so I continued to make my applesauce all through the years this way. So anyway, so that's one thing that I've been up to. It sounds silly, but it's been fun, and it makes me love the fall even more. And then the second thing I've been up to, I thought I would share. You get into these ruts, and you get stuck in a same monotonous surrounding, if you will. So I decided to redo and refresh my bedroom. Again, we purchased our house during the pandemic chaos, and we were just lucky to get a refrigerator, for goodness sakes. So we just basically, threw it together and just went with it, and we've been living that way ever since. But I really felt that it was time to refresh and reinvigorate my bedroom. So I am going to show you a hideous before video, just so you have something to compare my after to. I bought new bedding and new curtains, and moved some furniture around, and I did not have to paint. The paint was already there, but we had some strap lamps on the wall, and I never really loved having those because the cords came down. We do not have a headboard. And so I wanted to get rid of those, and I just wanted to lighten the space up. Everything was dark and gloomy, if you will. I had an old comforter on my bed from I don't know what year. So anyway, we did work very hard. I also don't have closet doors on my bedroom because they were broken badly. When we purchased our house, it was in bad disrepair, so, and sorely neglected. So anyway, I don't have closet doors, so I wanted to be able to make that so I didn't have to look at just a mess all the time and get some organization going. I also was able to incorporate a wonderful little old cabinet that was my mama's, and now I can have a place for all of my sweaters, and I love looking at them all the time. Not all of them in there. I think there are maybe 3 of them in there that are not my own hand knit, but pretty much everything in there is. So I am just overjoyed with the result and how much lighter and brighter and just welcoming the space is. And I just love going in there every morning and making my bed and putting it all, making sure it's all pretty. And it's been a really great thing. So that in turn, of course, causes a spiral effect. Opened a can of worms. And now I am tackling our living room. Like I said previously, we're looking to get our space a little more comfy and be able to really, really enjoy our fireplace. We have gourd wood sitting out back waiting for us to stack, and I cannot wait to fire up the fireplace. So that is what we have been up to. I think I'm going to end it here. Thank you for letting me chatter at you, and thank you for sharing my knitting and your time with me. And I will see you all the next time. Happy fall, happy knitting, happy making. Bye.